2. The MacArthur Cardinals won. And now to carry you the rest of the way, as we're going to show you the replay here, here's John Nelson.
Okay, Bob, for the third time in the game, Ivan Villalobos at shortstop throws out the base runner. Had to wait for his third baseman to clear. That's Jones. And got something over to the first baseman for Riccio. Bottom of the fourth, and to lead it off for the Texans, number 12, the right fielder, Greg Edwards. He'll be followed by Tommy Gentz and then Kurt Black. 2-1, MacArthur on top. Scotty Gage so far this afternoon has struck out 4, has walked 3, and has hit a batter. Edwards went down swinging in the second inning. In fact, Edwards, Gentz, Black, and Jones, the bottom portion of the order for Sam Houston, have 2 strikeouts and 2 walks.
Number 12, right fielder, Greg Edwards.
Sam Houston, 17-8 overall, 23-6 last year. Team batting average of .312. And the first pitch is popped up in the infield. First baseman wants it. Easy play for Davis. And puts a squeeze on it for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. And this brings up the DH, Tommy Gentz. Tommy with a triple, along with Rumsey in that first game. Seven starters were back for head coach Tommy Cantrell to begin this 87 baseball season. And a called strike to Gentz. Scotty Gage on the year, 8 up, 2 down. 0-1 pitch. At the belt, 0-2.
He's found that curveball again, and when he's got that pitch, he is very effective against right-handed batters.
Tight games, the rule of thumb in playoffs. Haven't seen a blowout yet in the first week. Fastball outside, and it's 1-2 to Gentz with Kurt Black on deck. Coming into this game, Scotty Gage has pitched 51 2/3 innings, allowed 45 hits, has walked 28, struck out 61, and this hits Tommy Gentz, second hit batsman for Scotty Gage. 1 on, 1 out as he nailed Tommy Gentz, and out of the dugout, Coach Carl Childers working the home plate umpire. He thought it hit the plate. And now trots down to the base umpire. His assistant this year is Ricky French. Here we see the pitch that got Tommy Gentz.
Yeah, we got the good angle on it, too.
Boy, he didn't move at all. If it hit the foot, it was the back foot on the second look.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see that one more time, really, to see if it hit him.
Is there any black on the baseball? No, there's not, because the shoes are red.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's see it again. One more time. Look at the back right foot on the closed stance here on the batter.
Come on, let's play!
Well,
I don't think so.
Does he have a sore toe or not? Tommy Gentz just stood there and is hit with a pitch, and now the plate umpire
Number 7,
telling Carl Childers to get back with the rest of the team with 1 on and 1 out. The batter is the second baseman, Kurt Black. Black hit .308 on the year. Infield and double play depth. Oh, that's close at first, and almost got Gentz leaning towards second. And now Childers will stay behind the third base line. Well, what does he want? Every call to go his way?
Actually, I think a perfect throw over to first base would have gotten the base runner, but the throw was a little bit down the line. Davis had to reach over.
Yeah.
Right. Davis had to reach over, make the grab of the ball first, and then come back with the tag, and that allowed Gentz to get back to the bag.
Well, in all fairness to Carl, he's, there he is. He got him dead neat as Gage nails Gentz. And now Carl Childers up and down the bench for Irvin MacArthur saying, yeah, I knew it'd get him the second time. Here we see it again, the swipe tag by Davis on the leg of Gentz. There it is, got him on the left knee. And Gentz very dejectedly runs back to the Texan dugout. 1-0 the count on Kurt Black. So the pickoff by Gage, out number 2. Tied game 2-1 in favor of Sam Houston. Slow roller off of Gage as he overran it. Well, I tell you, that is in no man's country between first base and the pitcher's mound. He tried to get a glove on it as Gentz breaking towards first base right here. Big chop. Gentz with the only play at all. Got a glove on it.
Third baseman David Jones.
As it went straight down, and this brings up David Jones, the third baseman. Was walked in the second inning, goes and misses on the first pitch.
And that walk came with the bases loaded and drove in the game's first run. And I think very disappointing as far as the Cardinals are concerned, because they walk a guy at the bases loaded who's batting under 200. Of course, you never want to walk anyone with the bases loaded, irrespective of their batting average, but it has to really bother you when you've got what has to be certainly a less than good hitter up there.
Well, the pickoff helped. Fastball is high and away, and it's even up at 1-1 on David Jones, number 5. Runner on first, Kurt Black, 2 down. Bottom of the 4th, Texans lead it 2-1. Wind blowing from right to left field now as the flags stiffen. This drives Black back again to first base bag. Third baseman Sturdy now goes back even with a bag. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Reach back for something extra, and this is hit well foul.
That's
about
where the
25 feet down the left field line.
That's where the wind comes into play, too, because the wind now is blowing from right to left. So it just carried that ball away from the left field foul line and caused it to hook more than perhaps it even would have under windless conditions. See the flags up there on the flagpole.
So the count now 1-2 on David Jones with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. And Scotty Gage wants a new baseball.
When play began, the wind was coming in directly behind those flags, blowing in from center field. Now, obviously, the wind has changed direction.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Bounding ball to Mahalik. And the force, as Hedges is there, to get Kurt Black. 6-4 on the fielder's choice as Black is retired. And the Texans will come away with nothing, but they lead the game 2-1 as we go to the top of the 5th.
It's been a well-played game. You know that, John?
It really has. We've really had no big momentum swing from either team. The balk by Gage in the second inning, as the Texans scored twice, but they had the bases loaded numerous occasions in that second inning, and MacArthur kind of fortunate to hold Sam Houston to the 2 runs. As Obie Strachan continues his warm-up tosses. It'll be the 8-9 on the top of the order for the Cardinals in the top of the 5th. Kevin Gill, Darren Hedges, and then Vince Kimbrough. And there's Zimmerman's bounce throw into second base. Irving MacArthur on the year, 20-5. 12-2, the district champions. They won the first game 4-1 on 7 hits.
Leading off for the Cardinals, left fielder Kevin
Gill to lead it off. Bounced into a fielder's choice. His first time up. That was the 3rd out in the second inning. Well, Jones on the grass for Sam Houston down at 3rd. And Straughan's first offering is waved at and missed by Gill.
David Jones plays that third base bag. He is just intent that no one is going to drop a surprise bunt on him, because he really plays up on the edge of the grass.
Big hole up the middle. as Villalobos has swung way around. It is the shortstop position, and Blackwell off the bag at second. 1-1 now the count on left fielder Kevin Gill. Inside corner, and Hobie Strawn ahead, 1-2. Hobie Strawn, 7-3. Came into this game with 19 walks and 47 strikeouts and an ERA of 2.91 as Hobie pulling his sock up and now the pant leg down. So getting comfortable with a 1-2 count on Kevin Gill. Let up pitch inside. Count levels out at 2-2. Hobie had worked 50 2/3 innings coming in. Given up 56 hits. Tipped. And Gill still alive with a 2-2 count on him. Had given up 31 runs, 21 of those were earned. Chris Jones, the losing pitcher in game 1 for Sam Houston. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And a little low at the knees. And the count is run full to Kevin Gill at 3-2. Top of the 5th, 2-1. Sam Houston on top. Strawn's next offering is swung on and missed. And Gill goes down for the first time. And strikeout number 3 for Hobie Strawn on the year. Strikeout number 50. And this brings up the second baseman, number 25, Darren Hedges, who rounded out 5-3 to lead off the 3rd. Good breaking pitch. Over the plate and right at the knees to Hedges.
That was a big strikeout on Gill. Had Gill gotten on base, to be continued after this pitch.
0-2.
Had Gill gotten on base, it brings up a guy like Hedges, and you know they're going to try and advance that man on, bunt him down to second. If they are able to pull that up, you got the tying run on second and the top of the order coming up. So it's a good thing for Strawn to got the batter.
Got away from Zimmerman, but nobody on. And the count now 1-2. 3 in a row now. Set down by Hobie Strawn. Williams got a couple of hits along with Mahomick in that first game. Only 2 so far. Over the plate, but a little low. And it's 2-2 to Darren Hedges with Vince Kimbrough on deck. Strawn reaches back, grounded sharply to Jones. Rifles one over to Barricchio. And for the second time, Hedges has grounded out 5-3. 2 up, 2 down, top of the order. Designated hitter number 14, Vince Kimbrough. Kimbrough went down on strikes in the first and was walked in the 3rd. 0 for 1 this day. Right down the middle. Hobie Strawn goes sidearm to Vince Kimbrough. 2 down, top of the 5th. Sam Houston leading 2-1. There's a breaking pitch outside at the letters. And it's 1-1. Fastball low, 2-1. Outfield straight away on Vince Kimbrough. Shank is very shallow and left. There's a strike. And Kimbrough walking away.
Boy, really, I can't say that I blame him. Ooh.
He's hoping if he gets another one like that, the count would go 3-2. Well, here's a 2-2 pitch to Kimbrough. Through the batter's box on the opposite side. And for the second consecutive time, Strawn has gone 3-2 to the batter. Got Hedges to ground out, struck out Gill. And the loose ball collected by the on-deck hitter. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the DH, Vince Kimbrough. Here's the next pitch, popped up, shallow left. Wes Shank draws the beat on it and makes the one-handed grab for out number 3. So the Cardinals go up and down in order. In the top of the fifth, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And Hobie Strawn has now retired 5 in a row. 2-1 Texans on top as the teams change sides. Well, in Class 5A, of course, the high school baseball playoffs getting underway in earnest this first full week. We've got Houston Sharpstown ranked number 1 in Class 5A. Louisville, they won their series the other night, stayed ranked number 5. Fort Worth Southwest ranked number 7. You got Abilene Cooper ranked 2nd as the Texans, all 15, 16, 17 of them huddle up outside and in front of their dugout as they try to get jacked up here, leading 2-1, and they've already turned the caps the other way around, Bob. The on-deck hitter and the guy in the hole, they flip their caps around the other side. 2-1. And in the bottom of the fifth, it'll be the top of the order, Ivan Villalobos, and then Wes Shank and John Zimmerman. Scotty Gage with 4 strikeouts has given up 3 hits. Villalobos has been hit with a pitch and has been walked. Got an RBI when he was nailed on top of the helmet in the bottom half of the second.
And that's the difference in the ball game right now.
Ronnie Powers, the base coach, down at first. Tommy Cantrell in the coaching box at third, and the first pitch is a strike to Ivan Villalobos. David Clyde also doing some assistant coaching in the baseball season for the Texans. Fastball, big chopper over, sturdy into left field. Base hit number 4 for Sam, and the first for Ivan Villalobos. Leadoff hitter on, and this brings up Wes Shank, the left fielder.
Number 10, the left fielder, Wes Shank.
Just wouldn't come down in time enough for Sturdy at third, and Gill had to run in from left field. Shank has grounded into a double play and grounded out to the third baseman in the second. Shows bunt, takes one right down the middle, slides that right hand up the bat handle as Sturdy came down the line from third. 0-1 the count to Shank with Villalobos on first. Bottom of the fifth, Texans lead it 2-1 from the waist. Here's Gage, bunted foul as he tried to drop it down the line at first. And Scotty Gage ahead 0-2 to Wes Shank with John Zimmerman on deck. Hits today by Verricchio, Rumsey, Black, and now Villalobos. 0-2. Here's Gage's next pitch as it sails up high. Count now 1-2. If there is a throw, it appears that Mahalik, the shortstop, might take it. Swung on and missed. It is dropped by the catcher, and Villalobos not going anywhere at first as Williams just tried to get a quick throw back to the mound, but it fell out of his hand, and this brings up the catcher, John Zimmerman. Well, strikeout number 5 for Scotty Gage, and Zimmerman has gone down twice. Fastball as Zimmerman checks his swing. John hit .379 on the year. 1 on, 1 out. Snap throw, and they got him hung up. Villalobos, as the second baseman, flips it back to Davis, and there is the tag.
That's the second time that they've caught him off of first base.
Play goes 3-4-3. Davis to Hedges, back to Davis. Out number 2. And we'll see it again as Villalobos, the base runner at first, streaks towards second, but knows he's got a rundown coming up. Goes back rather forcefully into Davis, trying to upset the ball out of Davis's hand, but held on to it. Breaking pitch in for a call strike. 1-1 to John Zimmerman. 2 down, bottom of the 5th. Roger Rumsey would be next. Gage set, delivers, big chopper, one-handed stab by Sturdy. The throw across the diamond will get John Zimmerman. Play goes 5-3 as the Texans go down here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on. So we have played 5 full. Sam Houston leading Irving MacArthur 2-1. And Bob, that pickoff that got Villalobos, as you said, the second one of the day that we have seen. For the Cardinals, in the top of the 6th, as they huddle up and do some high fives. Good crowd continuing to come in here. And for Sam Houston, they are hoping it is the first of 2. If the Cardinals win it, they advance on.
Inadvertently, I said that was the second time they got Villalobos. They got him once, most recently, and before that they picked Tom Gentz off of first base. Directly behind the right field fence, we have an apartment complex.
No,
generally
okay,
speaking,
who hit it? Who hit it?
Well, no one hit it, but in all the games we've done thus far this season, there you can see some people just sitting there and taking in the ball game without benefit of paying. In all the games we've done this season, that was not the case. No one was out there at all. I guess because the weather wasn't too hot, for one thing. It was pretty cool, some of the games that we did. But this game does have, obviously, a lot of importance. And we've got people standing on cars, and we've got people up on the second story looking out from the landing.
Leading off for the Cardinals, pitcher
Just
Scotty
getting
Gage.
a good view of this ball game. Here we pull back with the camera. You can see some of those people.
Top of the 6th, Scotty Gage to lead it off. Breaking pitch slammed into left field. So Gage is 1 for 3, and the Cardinals, like the Texans, have their leadoff hitter on. Didn't waste any time. 1 pitch, and a base hit to left field.
Center fielder
Chris Parshall, the hitter now, number 16, the center fielder, has grounded out and walked. Also stolen a base. Base hit number 3 for MacArthur. From the stretch, Strawn almost threw it away as Verricchio had to go up high.
That's got to be very unnerving to the pitcher, Hobby Strawn there, almost throwing that ball away.
And we'll see what kind of speed Gage has. Bunted. Strawn looks at second and goes to first and is upset from the hand of Verricchio. And the base runner's been called out. He took it out of his glove. The base runner has been called out, and Verricchio might be shaken up. He tried to literally take it out of the hand of Verricchio. Moving up to second is Scotty Gage. He will stay at second. Or will he have to go? No, he'll have to go back. Here's another look at it. Now Verricchio down on one knee, and boy, he wants to stay in there if at all possible. And the base runner will have to go back to first, that being Scotty Gage. So the interference by Parshall on the first baseman, Verricchio, is a good bunt. There's a look to second. And the contact made right at the bag as Verricchio grabbed his left hand. And out of the dugout for Irving MacArthur, Carl Childers wanting the explanation, and that just might take MacArthur out of a potential big inning. You've got their best hitter up now, Keith Williams. And now the other base umpire getting in position as time has been called. And Hobie Strawn will take a couple of warm-up tosses. Well, getting loose, Verricchio moving that left shoulder. Well, I was hoping they really wouldn't have to require the services of a trainer. A really freak injury here you don't need in the playoffs. And once again, the explanation given to Carl Childers by the first base umpire as Scotty Gage has to go back to first. 1 out, 1 on in the top of the 6th. As the play goes 1-3. Keith Williams, the hitter. Williams has drawn a walk and has grounded out. Keith batting .484. 5 home runs. Went 2 for 3 in the first game. 27 RBIs in district, and now they position Rumsey in center field as they work to Keith Williams. So power against power here. Strong to Williams. Fastball swung on, lifted into left center. Rumsey ranging over to his right and will haul it down for out number 2. Well, Williams went around, hit it good, got it up high, and Rumsey there to make the grab. 2 down as we go to the first baseman, Clint Davis, who is 2 for 2. Single in the 2nd, single in the 4th. Scotty Gage, the runner at first. 2 down, top of the 6th, first pitch inside to the Cardinal first baseman, Clint Davis.
Gage really doesn't have that much speed, but you think that they might send him.
Fastball, left field. And Clint Davis is 3 for 3.
The reason why I said they might send him is Davis is not an extra base hitter. Had Gage been able to steal second, then you've got the chance with Davis maybe driving him in with a single, which he just did. But they were not playing hit and run, and even if they had, Gage could have gotten no more than to third base. So you've got the tying run on second, the potential lead run down at first. There are 2 outs. And Mahalik, the shortstop, comes up. He's 0 for 2, flying out once and bouncing into a double play.
Top of the 6th, Sam Houston leading 2-1. The 7-inning game moving along at a pretty good clip here.
And you just have the feeling that the Cardinals really need to score in this inning.
Number 6 hitter, time called as Mahalik jumps out of the box. Runners on first and second. Gage, the runner at second. Davis, the base runner at first. Adequate lead for Gage at second. Inside corner, a strike to John Mahalik, the shortstop. John, a junior. Strong looks over his right shoulder, delivers low, and it's 1-1. Yeah, you look at the Cardinal roster. Eddie Palmer, a senior. Jason Sturdy, a senior. Davis, Williams, Marshall, Gage, and Hedges, the other starting seniors. And Hobie steps off the rubber. 1-1 the count to the Irving MacArthur shortstop, John Mahalik. A look to second. The delivery is low, and it's 2-1. Wind blowing straight in. The 2-1 pitch in the dirt, and Zimmerman with a one-handed stab. Or Scotty Gage would have been over at third. 3-1. The count to John Mahalik with Eddie Palmer on deck. 2 down, top of the 6th. Sam Houston on top, 2-1. In game 2 of this best of 3, MacArthur won the first game 4-1. Here's the next pitch, swung on, grounded to the third baseman, and an easy play for Jones as he runs over about 4.5 feet and plants that right foot on top of third base, forcing Scotty Gage.
That was a very important out as far as the Texans are concerned. Not only did it get them out of the inning, but it simply means that in the 7th inning, and remember this is a 7-inning game, the Cardinals start with the bottom of their batting order coming up. Hitters 7, 8, and 9.
David Jones couldn't be any easier. Takes Irving MacArthur right out of the inning. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on as we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. And for Sam Houston, it'll be Rumsey, Barricchio, and Greg Edwards. So Scotty Gage and the Irving MacArthur Cardinals down by a run, 2-1. Gage, as we look at the scorebook, 5 strikeouts, now 66 on the year. As Jeff Tillerson, number 4, will be inserted at first base. And Davis